Welcome to episode 1, this podcast. I think we're going to call it Dark Night of the Podcast. That might change. We might bleep it out. My name's Avery Hutto. We're going to have on people. We're going to talk about God, existentialism. We're going to have comics. We're going to have regular people. We're going to have artists. We're going to have professors, people, God people. And we're just going to see how it goes. I'm just going to be interviewing people and talking to them about what I think is interesting. So listen along. This is episode 1 with my friend Sam Prickett, comedian. Thank you.
Not okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't like being manically psychotic. That's what I'm trying. Actively trying not to do that anymore.
Yeah. It'd be interesting because if you could maintain an even keel while it's happening, which maybe is impossible, that's
just being filled with joy.
That's true. That's
Joy,
true. Yeah. To react. Yeah.
Joy turns so quickly though into finding synchronicities and then slowly schizophrenic, and then you're like, not only do I believe in God, I believe in God speaking to me through every single person that I talk to, and I have to listen to everything, and there's signs everywhere, and then
But maybe that's true.
Yeah, but if you believe that too much, you can't function in reality.
If you put meaning onto it, if you think you know what it means, that's the problem. Or if you think there's something to figure out there.
When you go,
that's the issue.
If you go into a parking lot and there's an open parking space and it's like a good parking space,
and you think that's God,
I can't help but think that's God. I see it and I go, I guess I've done something. I guess I'm on the correct path today, because if I leave my house and I hit a few green lights in a row, I'm like, I guess the Lord is on my side.
Yeah. Sometimes they're weird though. I think I told you about this one, but I'll say it on the podcast. I was listening to Ram Dass. In between, I got a coffee and I was going to a friend's place. We were going to drive to go to a Buddhist temple, and I was listening to Ram Dass. He was saying, that on the you go far out there enough, you see other people and you just see you. You just see different yous over and over again. That's what you see when you look into the eyes of anybody else. And then as I was hearing him say this, I pulled up at a red light, and the car in front of me had one license plate that just said "Sam says hi."
That's crazy.
Bizarre.
But I think there are certain synchronicities, but I also think some, do you believe in regular old coincidences?
Yeah, sure. Yes, but on.
Or you think everything?
I think possibly that everything that happens is
perfect.
Perfect.
It's a perfect dream, and that everything does have a certain amount of meaning to it.
I think that's a possibility but the problem is then that you take it too seriously.
Yeah. If you
I
believe,
don't think it's meant to be taken seriously. Or the problem is when you start thinking it's happening to you. You know what I mean? That it's like, oh, I'm the one that's seeing this, is when you start losing it a little bit.
Or you're the one who's doing it.
Or you're the one that's doing it. That's right. Yeah.
Do
you bring your ego into, this other thing.
Then you lose your mind.
Have
you lost your mind into that type of psychosis before?
Not too far. I haven't gone too far there. I'm more a depressive than a manic. Yeah.
When you get super depressed, what's it like?
The meaning drops out of everything.
You go, everything's pointless.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe some negative synchronicity where I think everything is like I'll overhear people or be like, oh, they think I should kill myself.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
It's paranoia. It's
paranoia.
There's pronoia, which is where the world is conspiring to help you, and paranoia, where the world is conspiring against you.
Yeah.
Do you think there's this? I feel like most spiritual teachings fall into two paths, and it's the Christian path is that there's something to do and that there's something to achieve, and that we're here to grow and to learn. And then there's kind of the Buddhist Eastern path, which is there's nothing to do, it's all a dance.
But the weird thing with that is that Buddhists have practice of meditation when the Christians don't really have anything to do to get you there.
Yes. But I don't know which is true.
I guess there's prayer, but the Buddhists, the whole thing is there's nowhere to go, but there is the whole
something
practice
to do.
This is how you go nowhere.
That is an interesting point. And the Christians are like, no, you just be nice.
You just be nice and you believe. It's the faith alone will heal you, which I don't know. It seems like you need a little. I don't think suffering is enough.
You don't think suffering is enough to teach you?
I think you got to
practice.
I think you have to practice. Yeah.
What would you? So something to do or nothing to do?
What's both?
Okay.
It's the paradox.
That sucks. I hate that. I hate that. Have you all?
I don't know.
Do you believe in God as like a being, as a person, or you think it's more of like a big old?
I think it gets dangerous when you put a form on him.
Okay.
I think yeah. I think it gets a little. That's when the fucking the paranoia comes in. If you think it's a guy doing
I think
it
it's
to
a guy.
you.
I
I'm not sure.
like thinking
Maybe
it's a
there's a
guy.
manifestation of God that's
A being,
a
personal
guy,
being.
But that's not. I don't think that's the final thing. It's like in Hinduism, there's like there's Shiva and there's Atman and there's all these like different kind of characters that are manifestations of God. But that's not the final.
It's just a form of God.
It's a form of God instead of the real thing,
which
doesn't have any form.
I like to talk to it. That's why, and I think it talks back, and I think it has. I do humanize and personalize it a little bit, where I'm like, no, it has wants and dislikes, and it doesn't like when I'm bad, and it likes when I'm good, and we chat. But that's Jesus. That's what Jesus.
And also that's you. You don't like when you're bad, and you like when you're good.
But maybe that's God.
You have likes and dislikes.
But maybe that's God.
You're projecting yourself onto God.
You think so?
I think so.
I think maybe God is a person, a little bit.
It's a guy.
He might be a guy. A white man in the white bearded guy in the clouds is kind of that's the best. That's the
Stop beating off.
But
That shit pisses me off.
no. So here I think about beating off a lot, and I don't.
I do. I think about it, and I do it. Right.
I think about it. And I don't do it, and if you don't do it for a while, you do gain some sort of spiritual energy. It like recycles in your system. It is a crazy thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think God hates when you beat off. I just think God knows that when you beat off, you're losing spiritual energy. And it's the same thing as like any other quote unquote sin, where it's like, yeah, go ahead and do it, but you're only hurting yourself.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It's anything. That's true. Yeah, because there's nothing bad about it. But the moment you go into any desire you have, or like this will make me happy, is like that's just ignorance. Because it won't make you happy.
But that same, it's beating off. It's eating something that you shouldn't be eating. It's. I think the word sin is very interesting because it means without. I don't think there's any like. I don't think there's much morality. I don't think it's good or bad. I think it's just right and wrong.
What's the difference between good, bad, and right and wrong?
Bad is it has like shame to it. Like I think everything's
wrong doesn't have shame attached.
I don't think so. Because you're trying. If you're right and wrong, you did your best and you failed. Failure's not that bad if you're trying.
Right.
But like
wrong,
badness.
Wrong is not impersonal. You can get an answer wrong,
Not a
and
big
it's
deal.
not. It's just like a whoopsie. It's not like okay, I hear you now. Yeah.
So I think everything is a whoopsie. Where God isn't like everything is just like, oh damn, you tried to hit the bullseye with the dart and you got it off, and then you pay the repercussions of it. It's not like, oh, you did something and now God thinks you're bad and he's mad at you. He's just like, no, you're just stupid. You're just stupid. Right. You're not a bad person. I think everybody's just really dumb.
Right. It's ignorance, not in like the Michael Jackson ignorance, but like the real like, oh, you just don't see what the truth is, so you're doing this. You're doing this because you're not seeing things correctly.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's way more true. Have you always believed in something bigger, or like when you were a kid? When you were a kid? Do you remember coming to consciousness?
No.
I was pissed off when I first all my beginning years. I was very frustrated. I've like believed in God from a young age, and I was very mad that I existed in a way.
Interesting.
Because I'm like, why don't I know shit? I'm so pissed off that I don't know. And then I tried to figure things out, and I couldn't, and it made me more mad.
How old were you when this was happening?
Like 6.
Yeah. Were you raised with religion?
I was raised Catholic. But
Did
I
you
also
go to mass.
Yeah.
Every week.
Like 3 times a month, and then we slowly faded away.
Yeah.
My parents became alcoholics, and then we lost the Lord. That's what naturally happens. But I also, like, when I went to Mass, people of Catholic guilt, I didn't have any Catholic guilt. I was just like, no, those people are wrong. They just don't know who God is. I know God. I was like a little kid who thought he knew better about God than the people teaching me about God.
You might have.
I think I did.
I think kids are kind of closer to the source. Yeah. You gonna answer that?
No, I'm not. It's my sister.
Okay.
Put her on the podcast.
No.
She doesn't. I went back to see my sisters, and I'm like big on God, and they made fun of me for believing in God and hurt my feelings, and I lashed out.
Yeah. Why do you think he lashed out? Because you think maybe he's not?
No, because I was like, well, they were like I was like, my response was, this is why you guys suffer. It's because you don't believe in God.
That's
It was
silly.
you
suffer.
I suffer, and I was projecting my suffering onto them
Yeah.
by being like, you don't know, because some people don't need God in their lives, and they can lead regular lives and be happy and like have like pretty normal lives. If I don't have some sort of spiritual connection, I become extremely depressed or paranoid, or I go crazy. So I'm like, I need it in my life, which means you all need it in your life.
Yeah, I'm the similar way. If I'm not actively pursuing something, then I completely lose my path, and and really the whole thing falls off the rails. Yeah,
But some people just are like, no, I just go to work and then I do my stuff.
people are
Everything's
boring.
Yeah, but what do you think that is? Do you think we have something missing, or do you think we have something extra, or do you think it's like once you open the door, you can't close the door?
I think maybe there's a little bit of that, which sounds a little egotistical, but I've had some religious experience, some spiritual stuff when I was younger, and yeah, I think if you're not actively pursuing it, it kind of eats at you, and if you're not doing it, then it's gonna make it fucking clear. If you know the way to live and you don't do that, that's the ultimate sin, I think. Speaking of sin, the people that don't, they can kind of get away with not feeling as wayward
Because they just don't know.
they don't know there's a thing there.
One of my favorite Buddhist sayings is it's best not to start, but once you start, it's best to finish.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
It's like it's best. He's like, listen, if you don't have to do this, don't do it.
Yeah.
Just live your life, do whatever you can, don't do it.
Enjoy it. Get married, have a kid, work a job. Be
But once
happy.
you open the door, you have now. It's like you have to now.
There's no going back.
There's no, and it sucks a little.
Yeah, you can't go back to sleep.
No, I've tried so many times.
Me too.
I would love to go back to sleep, but you can't. And then you're like, oh, so now I just have to wake up fully, I guess? Is that the only option?
Yeah. No, totally. I was talking. Maybe I told you this. I was talking with my friend Jordan, and we were talking. His like vices are like. I guess he'd be fine with. I don't know.
He's got vices.
He's got vices.
Yeah.
And mine are drinking and stuff, and his are a little different than mine. But But he was talking about just I guess just like watching porn again, like smoking weed and watching porn, and he was describing as just if it just feels like now that I've been like doing this, and we did this like meditation retreat together, and he was like, yeah, it feels like he described it as it turns to ashes in my mouth, and he was like, man, where is that? Is that the Bible? Is that like a Buddhist thing? He was like, I don't know, that's Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. Spiritual shit from Pirates. But, it's pretty good. It's
good stuff.
And it does feel like that.
Yeah. Where like once you could enjoy it, and then once you know that it's bad for you, you can now never enjoy it truly again.
No, now whenever I go back to drinking, it's there's nothing fun about it.
Yeah.
It's just I'm looking for something and I'm not getting it, and
Just pain.
it's just pain.
And then
Just
shame.
pain, man.
You
Pain
said
and
you
shame.
had spiritual experiences as a kid. What were those?
Well, when I was really little, I would lucid dream a lot, and that was pretty bizarre. I would have nightmares a lot, and then I think I just started lucid dreaming, I think, as just a reaction to...
Were you consciously doing it?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like,
nightmares.
I'm going to wake up in my dream, or did you
Yeah.
just suddenly wake up in your dreams and then?
I would... I'm not really sure how it... But I would be aware... I think I would become lucid in the middle of a dream, especially in nightmares.
Okay, what were the nightmares?
Bunch of stuff. There's a lot of monster ones, some weirder ones.
What kind of monsters?
But I would just have I don't know. I don't know how to even just ominous dark forces.
Okay.
And but I would say the word
Abracadabra.
No, it was Scooby Doo, and I would wake up. Scooby Doo was my safe word.
Really?
And
Scooby Doo.
and I would wake up, but then I stopped having nightmares, and then they just started being lucid, and then I kept on having this recurring thing where I would be in a dream, and then I would walk through a door, and then I would find myself in the corner of the room watching myself sleeping. In my bed. And that really kind of spun me off, but it felt, kind of like an out-of-body thing. That's when I first started being like, something weird is going on here, just in life. And then just like early on with like, it took the right amount of acid at an early age. And I was like, oh, okay, there's like
Something going on.
something I tapped into something here.
Do you remember your first acid trip? Mm-hmm. Do you remember what was the thing that you realized? What was the eye-opening moment? Was there like a word to it or like a feeling?
No, I mean all that stuff is you just plugged into the
Big consciousness.
You have like an ego death, and then you go, oh, this thing that I thought I was isn't real, but something is still. There's still a continuity of consciousness.
Yeah.
When the pillars of yourself crumble, of everything you identify with, fall away, and then I don't think I could ever do psychedelics again, But yeah, that stuff when I was like 16.
Did you ever take fake acid? Did you ever take any of the
No,
research
I've been
chemicals?
lucky. I haven't taken like N-bomb or anything, no.
Yeah, I took one of those once, and it made me... Do you know solipsism, where you are every single person in the world? Like that. It made me think... I was in a room filled with people, and I couldn't tell the difference between my thoughts and what they were saying. And I would think thoughts, and then other people would say... Or it felt like I would think a thought, and then somebody else would say my thought. And I completely, like, shut down and lost it and had to go home and lay in bed. And then I tried to explain it to someone else, and he's like, no, dude, you're having a psychotic episode right now. Like, that's not... None of what you think is real. And I didn't really believe him. I'm like, you're in my head. Like,
Yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy, but again, I think there's like
Some truth in that.
yeah, totally. There's some weird. I kind of believe in that the like collective unconscious kind of Jungian thing of like, I had to even I kind of don't like talking about meditation experiences that much, but I do a lot, especially when I drink.
That's
but
what
it
we're
does
doing
feel
here.
gross.
Yeah.
And it is what we're doing. But it's weird in that 10-day retreat I did. You're sitting in the meditation hall for like 10 hours a day, and I started having these thoughts that these things kind of thoughts I guess appearing in my mind that were not mine.
What do you mean?
It just felt I could tell it was not I would not have this. It felt like I was thinking someone else's
Was it
thoughts.
So you went on a 10-day meditation retreat,
and everybody's in this hall, and you start feeling, and then but more that gets a little harder because they're very subtle. It's hard to tell, but in other sense of this is just more like kind of physical, where I would hear someone else's stomach rumble in the room and feel my stomach rumble.
Okay.
Or someone sneeze and you feel it in your nose.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
So you think you were tapping into other people's thoughts?
I think so.
That makes sense, though, but that doesn't mean... I don't see that as a universal consciousness thing. I just think that's like thoughts are like radio waves, and you can tune in and out of them. I'm more and more...
Sure.
Like, I think people are individuals. There's a Paramahansa Yogananda. He's a spiritual teacher I like, where he's like, no, you're a person, and you will always be a person, and you've always been a person. And there's no it's like people are like, oh, you're a water, like a droplet of water in the ocean. And he's like, no, you're not. You're a cell. You have a boundary upon you. You will always have a boundary. Yes, you were created by something, but you are exactly what you are, and you aren't everybody. But I don't know if that's true, or if it is if there's a beginning and an end, it feels like it has to be that we're all like the same thing. But I'm like, I think we might be people. We might be individual people, and we never go back to the whole. We always stay as people.
What a bummer. I'm trying to go back to the hole.
Yeah, but then you're not. But then it's like you don't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think we always exist.
Fuck.
I don't think it ends.
Fuck.
I don't think we get to die.
What bad news.
You think
I
so?
hate that.
We don't get to go back to bed.
I have this thing where I kind of believe in reincarnation, and I really wish I did not.
No, I don't think there is an afterlife. I think this is it. I think we're on the plane of existence that always exists, and I don't think we ever get to go away.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
Well, because it means you have to. It's like you have to get your shit together then.
I know.
Because there's no dissipation. There's no ending. It's like you will constantly have repercussions for your actions. But I like this might be. Part of me thinks that this plane that we're on is quote unquote like the hell realm. We're in the fallen realm, where things are corrupted and things are dark, and there's temptation and there is extreme consequences for actions. And what people call heaven is beyond cause and effect. But I think I don't think there's anything worse than this.
I think it gets worse.
But you can be in hell here. Like I think hell exists here.
Exists, yeah.
I don't think there's like a special hell where it's all badness. It's like could it get worse? Hell wouldn't even be that bad because you know it's always going to be bad. The bad part about hell on earth is knowing that you created it for yourself and knowing that it doesn't have to exist. It's
and not being able to fucking climb out of it.
Yes, well, or being able to, but it taking a really long time.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I don't believe, I do believe in the devil. I don't know what that means.
Interesting.
But I don't believe in a hell. I think this is his
You
playground.
believe the devil's a guy like God?
Yeah.
Red skin,
No.
horns, little tail.
I think he's a beautiful angel.
That's true. Yeah.
He's
yeah,
a beautiful...
The devil would be hot. That's
People
right.
think the devil wants to torture you, and he's like, no, he wants to pleasure you so much that you lose God.
Yeah.
Devil wants to suck your dick. Devil
Yeah.
doesn't want to cut your dick off.
Right. God wants to cut your dick off.
God wants you to cut your own dick off
That's right.
so that you stop following your penis.
That's right.
It's
yeah.
weird how sex is like the number one trap in this realm. Pleasure, hedonism.
Seems like a hedonism, yeah. I think there's a way to have sex, maybe. It's like if you're like
making love,
really like into like tantric shit,
Yeah.
and like but then it seems impossible. I don't think I'll ever be able to do it because you have to be like unattached. I think, but I hear stories of like
you ever made love? You ever made love? I've made some love.
maybe once in my life, but then still it's like.
One time.
But still, it's like no. Actually, I don't know. Maybe
You've made
maybe
love.
a couple.
You've
I don't
made
know.
some love.
I have a lot of like hang-ups about sex.
Where do those come from?
Shame in childhood, probably.
Okay. Do you have any bad sexual experiences as a
Whatever,
child?
man. Whatever.
All right.
I party, and well, I used to.
I used to party as a kid. Yeah. That makes sense. So you've got like a weirdness. So whenever you're doing it, you're in your head about it.
Yeah, I am a little in my head. Yeah.
So you haven't. Yeah, you have never made. Maybe one day you'll get to make sweet, sweet God love.
Yeah, that'd be cool. No, I'm sure. I think I have before. I've had moments, maybe not the whole time, but I've had moments. I think where I've kind of
transcendent.
Transcend. Yeah.
I think a lot of people what they're doing it's like jacking off with somebody else's body.
I a lot of the time I fall into that, and I catch myself doing it, and I don't know how to
Stop. Well, that means the whole experience. You can't stop. That means you shouldn't be having sex with that person.
That's right.
Because sometimes you're just like you can be with somebody physically, but if you're not with them like emotionally, you're just not even in the room with them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. How do we get on sex?
The devil.
The devil.
The
That's
devil.
right. Yeah, yeah.
I think he's an angel. I think his attempt. I think he.
Was it right? Lucifer was a fallen angel.
I don't know if this is my interpretation of the devil was that he was an angel and God was in heaven with angels, and then the devil went or God went, I'm gonna make humans, and God went or the devil went, that was a bad idea. It's stupid. And God said, well, you can get out of my house if you think that's a bad idea.
Get off my lawn!
Yeah. And then he sent him down, and then Lucifer went, I will prove to you that it was a bad idea.
And then he made the apple.
And then he goes, I will show you the weakness in humans, and it's that they're pleasurable and they exist on the plane, and that's it. And then he tempts us and he's like, God, look, they're stupid. You shouldn't have never made these guys.
Right.
But we're actually the best because we're half angel and half animal.
Right. Yeah, that's what they said about Jesus, right? He was all God and all man.
Yes.
He was 200%.
Yes.
Mathematicians hate that, but
yeah. Math hates Jesus.
Math hates Jesus. I really like the part in the apple story where because when they eat the apple and then God comes they hide their bodies. And then he goes, "Who told you you were naked?"
Yeah,
Isn't that awesome?
that is.
It's just the beginning of self-consciousness,
So I heard an interesting thought was that
self-awareness.
the apple didn't give us the knowledge of good and evil. It gave us the thought that we knew the knowledge of good and evil. So it didn't actually give us what's good and what's bad. It made us think we knew what's good and what's bad, and we don't.
Right. Interesting.
Some people, the Gnostics, also think that the snake was God, and that the God was the devil.
All right.
You know, but doesn't that make sense? Where the
Yeah, a
snake
little
was
bit.
like,
It
"I will
wants
give
us
you
to
knowledge."
eat.
Yeah, but I don't think the Gnostics are a little crazy.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's all
Do you believe in karma?
sure.
What do you think karma is? Because it's not. People think if you do good, good things happen. But that's not my understanding of karma. What's your understanding of karma?
Yeah, I don't think it's that. It's I think my understanding of karma is it's whatever it feels like a tool. It's whatever you're attached to, whatever your attachment is just I think it maybe has something to do with cause and effect, but not like you do good things and good things will happen. I think it's much more personal than that, where it's just it's showing you where you're attached. If you get attached to something, if you react to something, then it's going to create an attachment there, an aversion there that's gonna keep on fucking reoccurring and occurring and occurring and occurring again and again and again. The more you react to it, or like try to fucking hold on to it or avert from it, until you learn how to stop reacting to it and just burn itself out. I just love the whole Buddhist thing. Is it just you kind of burn out. You stop throwing logs on the fire. Is like a metaphor they use for. In Vipassana, that thing
That's
I did,
interesting.
where you stop reacting to it, you stop throwing more logs on the fire. Eventually, it starts all these they call them sankharas, which I think has maybe something to do with karma. You stop reacting to the thing, you stop throwing logs onto the fire, you just let it burn out until you have, you burn all the old karma out, and you try to make your mind clean enough where you're not creating anymore.
Okay.
You're not reacting to things anymore.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Because my thought, people are like, why do, especially here, bad people succeed a lot? Like the most evil people run the world. And I think it's like karma's like, the life presents you with exactly what you need to grow. So if you do bad things, life gets easier almost because it shows you're not ready.
And also, those people aren't happy. None of those people are happy.
No, they're in
chasing
hell.
this thing that these people are miserable.
They're literally living. That's what I think. I'm like, that's the hell realm, is like having sex and doing drugs, and like to the point where you're like, well, now we gotta fuck kids, and now we gotta like have slaves, and like it's just an evil.
Yeah, none of this is helping.
No.
None of this is making you happy. And it feels like good karma is losing everything.
It is. That's
and,
the
and
Jesus
that's
story.
Freedom.
That the Jesus story
Yeah.
is the man with the best karma, and everyone kills you.
Yeah.
So that's it. If you act good in this world, it's like, well, now you get to be a martyr. Everyone will try to kill you. The better
be free,
you
you're
get,
gonna die free.
yes, but in pain.
Sure, but maybe I don't know. Maybe you're not. Maybe on that level. Once you're at a point where the world kills you because you're so good, you're not. The pain is not acting the same way anymore,
That's true.
and it's just compassion.
Where you feel compassion, but I think it's like a mix of compassion and pain. It probably still hurts.
Yeah, I'm sure it still hurts.
Because even Jesus was like, ow,
Yeah.
ow, fuck. He's like, please stop. No, don't do this.
Yeah. Yeah, but the whole forgive them for they do not know what they do. He was still in love with, I think, the people crucifying him.
Yeah. I try. If you try to be like Jesus too much, though, you go crazy too.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would begin to try to be that way.
It's interesting how most schizophrenics think they're Jesus. That's a fascinating thing to me, how when most people go crazy, they go, no, I am Christ. That's a common theme in schizophrenia, is to think you're Christ. It's like, what is that? Is there like a Jesus in all of us, or is that just like some weird malfunction?
I don't know. Schizophrenics seem a little weirdly close to it. They're not in like the right. I think it just breaks people.
Okay.
I think to not cultivate enough awareness and practice, but to get like a glimpse through, you're just your mind
Shattered.
breaks instead of just kind of over time dissolving it. It just shatters the thing, and
I do feel a close kinship with most psychotic people.
yeah,
and
'cause
homeless
sometimes
people.
they say something, and you're like, "Whoa, what was that?" And then
Yeah.
they're back to talking about fucking Reagan or whatever.
But they have some little
got a
bit
little
of
bit
it in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, that's cool. I think about it with the schizophrenics a lot. Is it shows different like in different cultures it has different like symptoms.
Like, that's very interesting.
Yeah, we're here. I mean, just imagine that. I mean, you think God's talking to you and everybody is ignoring you. I mean, you just fucking snap.
Yeah.
But in other like I think in like Native American cultures or more tribal cultures,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you're the shaman, and people will listen to you, and then they're not like crazy. They just think they're like tapped into another, part of reality.
It would be interesting. We should try that with our homeless people. Give them a voice.
I think we're far past that. I don't think we can go back.
Nah,
There's no
probably
going
not.
back, man.
What's like the most aha spiritual moment you've had where it felt like you had a weird knowingness or breakthrough outside of drugs? Drugs are easy, where like you take drugs. Every single time I've done any drug, I feel like I get some glimpse. But also drugs are liars, so that's where it's confusing, where you
can
go
be
like, I could
liars.
be completely lied to about this. But if you had anywhere, it was just like a...
Yeah, sure. I had a breakup recently, and not that recently, but I was at work, and everything good, and I was in a lot of I had overwhelming despair and sadness, and yeah, I was just kind of in a hell realm, and then I had the thought or heard the voice, whatever. Just I had the thought that now you have nowhere to hide.
Ooh.
And then after that thought, I felt kind of immediately, and it came back, but kind of in that moment felt immediately kind of liberated and felt a warmth in my chest.
Okay.
That started spreading out.
So there's a sweetness to it.
There was a sweetness.
In
I
the
found
sadness.
a sweetness in the sadness. Yeah, that was probably the most.
Is that the saddest you think you've ever been?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea that sadness, it's just love. Like sadness is a form of love that exists where you can't be sad unless you love something. Because people who are sociopaths can't really. What do you think is going on with sociopaths?
I don't know. Is it just a malfunction of the brain?
Or are they demons? I don't know.
I mean, but even I really speaking of demons, man, I really like the idea. And I think a lot of like Hindu shit and a lot of Buddhist stuff is the way to beat demons is with compassion.
Or like making fun of them. Or
But yeah, but
you think it's just love?
I think it's just love. There's like the whole like the demon showed up to Buddha, and I think he just treated them with he just did a meditation and just loved the demons so much that their form changed. You have to liberate the demons too.
Yeah.
The demons are also capable of enlightenment.
Said I see you. Buddha said I see you, Ma.
Right? Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
But okay, that makes sense. So you got to see and love, because I'm still at the stage where I'm mad at I was mad at God for a long time, and now I'm not as mad at God. I'm still a little mad at God, but I'm more
For
mad.
existing.
Yeah, and just for having like that. This is the game we have to play. I'm like, come on, this is the game. It couldn't be a little softer. Like it's got to be this brutal and hard of a game. I'm bitter, because I'm like, you couldn't have made it a little nicer.
No. And that might be love too, man. That might be
That's brutal love.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, crazy wisdom, brother. There's
That's frustrating. It's like God being all loving that's very frustrating, because it means like there's no God won't enable you.
No.
God, people will enable you, but God will go like, no, you have to face all of your pain, and that's good for you.
That's real love.
That hurts, and that makes me mad. That makes me fucking mad.
Yeah, but isn't that real love though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just I'm
scary.
I'm a little kid going, fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And he's like, I
Yeah.
still love you. And I go, fuck you.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, man. I like the idea of Kali a lot. You know, Kali. She's a Hindu goddess, and her thing. There's a story with it that I don't remember really what her whole thing is, but she wears. She's the scary one. She's like black skin. She
Okay.
wears a necklace of skulls of human heads, horrifying apparently, and consumes you, eats you, so that, and then digests you so that you come out on the other end pure. It's this horrifying demon-looking entity that consumes you so that because she loves you, because she wants you to be liberated.
Yeah, that sucks. You
Yeah.
gotta get eaten.
Yeah,
You
gotta get eaten,
be
man.
tortured.
Yeah.
Like, to become free, it's torture, it's suffering, it's pain. Mm-hmm. What do you think is at the root of suffering and pain? Just growth, or like?
I think it's just. I think Buddha had it pretty good. The cause of suffering is attachment or desire, because the nature of reality is impermanence, and if you attach yourself to something and it's going to die, it's going to go away. That's just the nature of the world. That's all suffering comes from desire, and the way to get out of desire is, that's when it gets a little harder to say, I guess.
You're just letting go. But what does that even mean?
Yeah, it's
Just
it's
time.
always time, practice.
You think time's
Compassion.
real? A lot of people don't. You think time is real?
time's
Linear
real.
time? It exists, and there's a
Exists.
before and after.
It exists.
What about free will?
Well, it's both real. It's also it's a level of reality. I think
Okay.
there is time.
Yes, but there's a does there exist?
There's a place without time.
But then
But that's no place.
that feels like if there's a place without time, then free will does not exist.
Yeah, I would argue that it does not.
You don't think free will?
No, I don't know. See, these things get so bizarre.
It's
'Cause
semantics and rationality.
It's semantic. On this level, where we're at in life, no, I kind of do not believe in free will.
Okay.
I think maybe you can get to a point if you completely go against your hardwiring, which I think is possible.
So then, okay.
But even that, the decision to do that isn't free. But I think you can get so clean,
yes,
that maybe you can break out of
will.
your own ego. But I think that's like we're talking like full
We're not
enlightenment.
there yet. Yes.
We're not there.
Yeah.
But I also think that there's no point. It's almost harmful to think that.
It is so dangerous.
And you might as well just pretend it exists
Yeah.
To serve you so you do improve, and then let it go. Because I no really, but I'm choosing to believe that it does so I can do things.
I haven't met like a very good person yet who doesn't believe in free will. Everybody I believe who is a upstanding person who changes themselves seems to believe in free will.
Yeah, you have to.
And everybody who doesn't believe in free will seems to be like a real asshole.
Yeah, that's when you get like nihilists and things, which is that's also wrong.
That's so frustrating. Nihilism is the most frustrating thing in the world to me. When people are just like, nothing means anything, it doesn't, it's empty. And I go, dude, where are you? What do you live?
Right, and there's a part of you go, that's true, but you're not. You don't get to say that.
Yeah.
You're not there.
Yeah.
Because it's always people that do that where they do have attachment still. They still care about things. They're attached to like a non-attach. They're attached to like nothing is meaning, and that's the meaning to them. And they're just they're living in this confused state of like the meaning is no meaning, which is like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
You can't live like that.
No. Do you have what's your goal for do you have like a goal for your life? Not like tangible goal, like accomplish something or doing something, but like a state of being or like a
Yeah, I'm trying to liberate myself, man. I'm
Liberation.
trying to meditate as much as possible and try to free myself, or as much as I can in this lifetime.
Yeah.
Try to get as clean as possible, and forgive myself for just anything I need to. And yeah.
Do you struggle with forgiving yourself?
Yeah, totally. I hate myself. Yeah.
Why?
Why? I don't know. I mean, I know the most about me. I know that I suck. I know what I think about.
Yeah,
and I know.
You're like, I'm a demon. I'm
Yeah,
a
I
little
know,
I'm a bad
I know
guy.
I'm capable of evil and hurting people, and I know I have, and yeah.
It blows
But
my.
there's no way. The shame about it isn't what's gonna help.
I think there's maybe a little shame, but it's like there's
Yeah, but to hold on to shame
It's sad, yeah.
It just continues to perpetuate, because shame is now you're identifying with the person that did that. You're unable to let go of that person, which is still you're kind of you're keeping them on life support by holding on to the shame about it. Is recognizing that, like, oh, this is like a real tangible part of me.
Yeah.
When you could just fucking let it go.
It frustrates me when people, I guess, get really mad or don't understand when people do bad things. Because I'm so aware of my own evilness inside myself and what I'm capable of that I'm like, don't you know that anyone could do those bad things? Like, everyone is. I know I'm capable of extreme evil, so I'm like, everyone is capable of such extreme evil. So it's like, we gotta forgive each other, or else, like,
Yeah, we're fucked here.
Yeah.
Or nobody is good.
yeah, because we're all pretty bad.
Yes,
But not bad, but we're all just
capable.
wrong.
We're capable of
Horrific
things.
Just cause.
Yeah,
Just
and,
even.
and us and theming other people and shaming other people
Yeah.
for that. I don't think is helpful at all.
No, it's like, come on, but don't you know? But some people don't know that about themselves, that they're are capable of evil, or maybe some people aren't.
I think people are really good at gaslighting themselves.
You think so? Into thinking they're good?
Yeah, sure.
Where they're like, no, I could never do something like that.
I think people are really good at justifying behavior.
Okay.
Yeah, and going, no, I did this because of, or I felt like this, so I, and be like, no, but it's different when other people do it, but I did it because of, people, I think, kind of have to feel that way, or else you're naked.
Do you do that? Do you justify your behaviors?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, I have before. I'm trying to not now. I'm trying to be pretty honest with myself, but sometimes it's still.
I've
Still
been
comes up.
lucky enough to, since I was a kid, I go, everything is almost to the extreme other end where I go, no, everything is my fault. Everything bad I've ever done, it's because I'm a bad person. It's like all me. It's like, I'm evil. I'm bad. Like, even with like drinking and drugs, some people are like, oh, I did it to party. And I'm like, oh no, I did it to cover up my emotions because I'm a sad person.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I have that in me too.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking.
I probably have. I'm probably just talking out of my ass.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you're cooler than everybody.
Yeah, I think I am.
Yeah.
No.
I think you're Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think
man.
I'm Christ. That's the point of this podcast. Is where I laugh.
You discover you are Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I go, actually, I'm the God.
This is not a podcast. This is the beginning of a documentary about the slow decline into
of my mental state as I go to
The closer to God you get, the farther away.
Dude, I have such a huge ego. Do you have like, my ego ranges from, in between I am special or I am the worst person on earth. Do you have the special moments where you think you're special as well?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy to have? But to recognize, I love when people call me out because I can't see it a lot of time where I go, you know what, I was thinking this. And then people go, no, you fucking weren't. And I go, oh, you're right. I wasn't. I was just talking.
What?
Like
I don't understand.
like what I just said, essentially, where I'm like, oh, I don't have that problem where I justify my behavior. So fucking course I do. But there's I'll get into a state of mind where I think that I go, no, I probably don't do that. And other people go, you did it here, 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 and I go, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, sure.
That happens to me all the time.
Yes, yeah, I have that.
I'm so bad at seeing myself. And so confident that I can.
Yeah, it's kind of the one blind spot you have is yourself. It's a weird. I haven't thought about it in a while, but I used to get really kind of. I think I was taking a lot of psychedelics and being weird because you feel like you can see other people, and how other people behave, and you can kind of know other people.
Yeah.
But then the part of yourself you see is like I don't know what's there. I see what's arising in this moment.
Yes, that's it.
But I can't see. I don't know where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And then I got really weird about how an eyeball looks like a black hole, where it's a bunch of colors circling this black abyss, and
That'll
there's
fuck
a bunch
you
of
up.
colors surrounding it. But then if you get to the center of the thing, then it's just nothingness.
Yeah.
It's this just kind of fucking event horizon where everything disappears, and you can never really see. You can only see the outside of yourself. You can never see.
Oh, interesting.
The center of who am I?
Yeah. You have a bad memory too. I don't know who the fuck I am ever. And but I'm very confident in the moment. I'm always like, here's how I am, and then this is what I am, and then I'm like, fuck, I got it wrong.
Yeah. Because also too, you're not a solid thing. It's just you're
But
this
maybe you
person
are.
now. You're not this. Yeah, but does it seem like it at all? I mean, there's a
right.
continuity of consciousness, but I've been 1,000 different people seemingly. I'm a different. I feel like not a different guy, but like I've there's different personality. There's like a happy version, there's a sad version, there's like a horny version, there's a and anything I want kind of creates a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's not really one. I don't think you're as solid.
Do you think you don't think there's like a core being in there that just has these different like hats that it wears, or do you think it is like a fluid? Because my thought would be, but that's coming back to the.
I think there's a core being that is fluid.
Okay.
There's a thing that's constantly changing.
Okay. But it's never static. It doesn't really exist.
Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah. I mean, this stuff is so you get.
No, I know we got too
it's tough to
esoteric.
talk
It's
about
so
it. I
esoteric.
mean, you kind of really
It's an
painted
acid
yourself in a
trip.
corner
I
with
did.
this podcast. Where you're talking about God, and then it feels like the fucking
You
the
unravel.
Louis,
You're just going to psychosis. Everyone's
know,
like, what
man. It
the
feels
fuck
like-
did you do?
You know the Louis joke where that ends with like it's like why the kid he's talking to his daughter
Yeah, he's like,
because
why?
some things are and some things are not.
Yeah.
Because something that is not can't be. It's just gonna be all that.
No, that's
These
great.
levels are gonna be all over the place. Sorry, I
No,
go
it's
real
fine.
up and down and
No, that's kind of part of the fun. No, that's
go up
great.
and down. This water tastes like BO. Hell yeah.
What's your favorite part about life?
Sucking and fucking mainly.
nice.
No, I'm over that. Favorite part about life. That moment right there.
The
Trying to do a
silence, the
little
in
Buddha.
between.
No, I hate the silence. I don't know. No, I don't. I don't know. There's you have moments of where things are nice. I like moments when things are nice.
Okay. Peace.
I like peace.
I like chaos.
I pursue chaos, but
You like the peace.
enjoy
I might
the peace.
actually like the peace, but I find peace in chaos. That's where I find the most peace. What do you think is the most? This is a bad question, but what's the most unique thing you think about yourself that sets you? If there's one quality that makes Sam Prickett a little bit different, or maybe other people have this quality, but it may be a defining quality or a theme in your life that has kind of continually come up.
Wow. Is this going to be a question that you ask everybody?
It might be. This is a pilot
This is
episode.
the pilot episode.
So I'm going to go through and say, what questions do I like? What questions do
Yeah.
I not like? Yes, it is. This one is probably.
A thing that I find unique about myself.
Yes. A defining quality
I
about
don't
yourself.
know, man. I don't.
Or a theme, something maybe you pursue that you don't see. It could be something that a lot of other people pursue. Could just be a niche subject. Could be.
I think I have a good.
It's an egoic question.
Yes. it is.
Let it be egoic.
I have. I think I have a good sense of things.
Okay.
I feel like I have a pretty.
You got good taste.
I think I have good taste, and also can see. I think I'm a pretty good. Gauge on. where things are coming from, and if something is
Bullshit. Okay.
Yeah,
You got perception. You got a good bullshit detector.
I think so.
Okay.
I don't have that for myself as
I know
much.
but that's almost the part of it is that if you're really good at it externally,
I
you're
think
the
I'm
worst
good at
it.
seeing it in other people. Yeah, because I struggle
I'm
with
so
seeing it
bad.
in myself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. What's your least favorite part about life? That isn't just basic suffering. Basic suffering sucks. Pain sucks. But what's like your, either a pet peeve or something that you particularly struggle with, that where you go, fuck that part.
Maybe it's kind of the thing that I think it's ties in with the thing that makes me feel special is I hate that I feel like I constantly have to I'm very judgmental.
Okay.
And I have a real thing, and that makes me kind of isolate myself because there's so many people that I could be friends with that I kind of don't allow myself to because of whatever it is I think I see in them that freaks me out a little bit.
Gotcha. It's the sword. The sword cuts. It can cut bad things away, but it can also hurt people.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This is final question. What is something you think you've learned or that you know that you feel like you could share with other people, or something that you wish other people knew that you think you have a good grasp on? A lesson, a idea?
I think this is I don't know. I have a meditation's helped me a lot. It's kind of the only thing that's helped me. I wish I think people should at least attempt a meditation practice.
Beautiful.
That seems
Meditate more. That's episode 1.
Or learn how to.
Learn how to meditate.
Learn how to, yeah.
Dark night of the podcast, I think. Or I'll edit this and
I
do
feel like
something
I came
else.
off like a real fucking dickhead. I'm sorry.
No,